Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Okay, who can remember that big, long word that starts with a C that we are learning about this week?
Comprehension.
Comprehension. Everybody say comprehension.
Comprehension.
Who remembers what comprehension is? Does anybody remember what does it say?
Reading.
It's reading, but it's remembering what you read. Being able to retell parts of the story, okay? So when we read, we really need to pay attention so we can tell what's going to happen, okay? What book did we read the other day?
This one.
This one. What is the title of it? She Take a Hike. We read it one time and we took a test. Did we know all the answers? No, because we haven't even learned this stuff. It's okay. We can do it in a little bit, okay? Okay. There are 5 main elements in a story. How many?
5.
5. The characters. Who are the characters? Does anybody know?
The sheep.
Well, just in general, who is the character in a book? Abigail?
It's the person that plays the book.
It is. Let's see what it says. The characters are the people, animals, or objects that they include in the story. So that's the characters, okay? We're going to go over these 5 elements. I am going to reread the story so that we can pay attention to these things, okay? Who knows what the setting of the story is? Because we haven't learned any of this yet. Blakely, what do you think the setting is?
The farm.
Okay, in our book it is. The setting is when and where the story takes place. So when and where the story takes place, okay? What is an event? Do you know, Karsten?
Something that you do.
Something that you do.
And where you show your cars, kind of.
Okay, you're thinking of a car show, like an event for a car show. Okay, well in a book we have events. The events are the details that happen during the story. The details, okay? So that's the events. What's the problem? What is a problem, Jace?
It's something that goes wrong and you don't plan for that to go wrong.
Something that goes, raise your hand, something that goes wrong that you don't plan for. Let's see what it says. The problem is something that causes trouble for the characters. What do you think?
The trees are in the path.
We're gonna read about it and we're gonna see. That's awesome. Oh, you've had great comprehension. And what is the resolution? Adeline, what's the resolution?
You see what the problem is.
It's how you fix the problem. Let's see what it says back here on resolution. The resolutions are how the characters decide to solve the problem, okay? So how many elements are there to comprehension into a story? 5. When I'm reading this story, I just need you to be thinking about who the characters are, when and where the story takes place, some events, some details, what the problem is, and how we're going to fix it. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to read Sheep Take a Hike. Just by looking at the front cover of our book and listening to our title, who do you think the main character is, or the characters? Cooper.
The sheep.
The sheep. Wow. How do you think you got that answer? How do you know that?
Because they're on the front.
They are on the front cover and it's in the title. Okay, here we go. Hands down. What are we gonna do? Listen. We have to comprehend what the book is saying, okay?
Okay.
It says, morning's here. It's warm and clear. Sheep load up their hiking gear. Compass, whistles, drinks, and snacks go in packs up on their backs. They trot along a hiking trail. Up the hill and down the dale. Does anybody remember what is the dale, Logan?
It's downhill.
Down in the valley, down that hill. We learned that the other day on our vocabulary. Trees and bushes soon grow thicker. Where's the trail? Sheep bicker. What does it mean if we are bickering, Karsten?
That means they're fighting.
They're fighting. Oh no. Shh, Logan, put your hand down. Hey. Sheep squeeze through the trees. Sheep rush through underbrush. Thorns dig, prickers snag. Sheep zig, sheep zag. Fog comes up, the ground feels damp. On and on, sheep tramp. Sheep stomp into a swamp. Mush, gush, boggy tracks. Yuck, muck, soggy backs. Blub, blub, sloppy packs. Glub, glub, gloppy snacks.
Now their snacks are all soggy.
Be thinking of our 5 main elements. The compass sinks. They're in dismay. How can they ever find their way? Who can tell me what dismay means, Jace? They are worried. They don't know what they're gonna do. They are scared. They're panicking. Sheep climb out of the slime. Why were they in slime? Where were
Because there's slime and water because all the fish.
But where were they? Where did
It's
they go?
water.
In what kind of water?
It's dirty water.
In a swamp. Swamps are yucky and nasty, so they've got slime all over them. They look around and soon they find woolly fuzz they left behind. Sheep won't stray. They've marked their way. Now they're on their hiking path. Wonder which one of these elements that could be. Don't blurt it. Just be thinking. What more could they want? A bath? Sheep trot homeward. Rain pours. What a day for the great outdoors. Okay, I am going to pass out a paper, and it is called a graphic organizer. It is something that helps us organize our thoughts, okay? We are going to write, so what are you going to need? A pencil. Get that out while I pass this out. Please put your name at the top. Who can summarize the story for me real quick? Who knows how to summarize a story? Anybody? Anybody know how to summarize a story? Does anybody know what a summary is?
No.
That's where you shorten the story and tell it real quick without all the details. You want me to give you my summary of the story? We've got some sheep. They go on a hike. They get lost, but then they figure out how to get out and they make it home. So I just summarized that story really quick with how many sentences? 5. There was a lot of pages in that book, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But I didn't tell hardly any details, did I?
No.
have a paper? Everybody's name is on it. Ooh, let's get our name on it.
Yes.
Okay, so what is our first story element? The characters, and we already kind of talked about who are the characters in this story. The sheep. So we're going to write in our first box, under where it says character, sheep. Sheep. How do we spell sheep? Shh. What says shh? S-H. Now, we've been working on our EA blend, but this is actually an EE vowel team. Okay? Not blend, but a vowel team. EE vowel team. So, sheep. Those were our main characters. That's who the whole book was about, right? Now, there were other characters. There was a moose. There were other people in the book, but did we talk about them? No. All right, what is the next box, Jace? What does that one say? Setting. Who can remember what the setting was without looking behind here? Who can tell me what a setting was? What is it, Jace?
It's where they start off.
When and where the story takes place is the setting. So, where did this story take place?
In their barn.
Well, it started in the barn, and we're going to work on sequencing tomorrow, okay? Or on Monday. Where was the story? Where did they go? Where did they go? They went on a hike, but where did they go on a hike?
Into a swamp.
Into the forest, in the woods. They went up hills.
Then a swamp.
So the set.
Dale.
They went into a dale. So, where did our story take place? In the outdoors. In the wilderness. In the woods. You can write any of those, okay? So, let's see. The setting of our story. The story took place in the woods. So, right in the woods. This one. This is the setting. Setting is right here. Setting. Woods. Woods. Mm-hmm. It took place in the woods. Okay, listen. Ready? Woof. Let us do woof. And then see the word look. See the word look. What? Oof. Woods. Oh, okay. The next one. We're down here. Everybody put your finger on this one. Who can say this word? What is that word, Devin? Problem. What was the problem? Anthony, what happened? They got lost. So that is our problem. They got lost. Hang on, let's write that. They, that's one of our sight words. They, T-H-E-Y. T-H-E-Y. They. And then got. We can all sound out the word got. Got.
It's a CVC word.
It is a CVC word. They got lost. They got lost. Mm-hmm. Okay, on our paper it says solution. Down here it says resolution. It's the same. How did they fix the problem, Liddy?
They found their wool to get back.
They found their wool. And how did they find their wool? Did it get stuck on all this stuff and it was falling off the whole time they were walking, wasn't it?
They
They
were
didn't
shedding.
know. They were kind of shedding. And so when they realized their wool was falling off, they knew they could turn around
And find their
and
way home.
follow their way home. So the solution is they followed their wool.
What goes on the bottom?
I will write it for you because that's a lot, isn't it? They followed their wool. Got it? So what are we doing? We are working on our what? What's that big C word? Comprehension. And by writing down all of these 5 elements, well, we just did 4 on our paper because we didn't do the details. Who can tell me some details? You want to do the details? Let's do some details. What were some of the things that happened in the story? Eli, tell me one detail.
One detail?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not,
We're going to work on some. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you not finished?
no, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me write it up here.
I know one detail.
They followed their wool. This was our solution or our resolution.
I know one detail.
Okay, tell me a detail. Tell me something that happened in the story.
Trees.
The trees? What about the trees?
They can't find their way.
They couldn't find their way because of underbrush. What's underbrush? Jace.
Little trees.
Little trees and sticks and limbs that are underneath the big trees. So that's a detail. They had an issue with the underbrush.
And I still want to make details.
You do not have to write this. If you want to turn your paper over and write some of these details on the back, you sure can. Here's something else. Sometimes we don't know how to spell all the words. But if we didn't know how to spell sheep, what could we have done? What could we have done instead of writing the words? Could we have
Sound it out.
drawn a picture? I'm not a very good artist, but if I didn't know how to spell sheep, then I can draw a sheep.
Wait, that looks perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, that looks a lot like a sheep. Yeah.
I'm not an artist. But we can illustrate some of our things too, right? And we're okay. Our setting was in the woods. How would we draw that?
In the underbrush.
Oh yes, and there's all this stuff and bushes. We could draw the woods. We could illustrate these. If we didn't know how to spell them all, we could illustrate it. Okay, so what was another detail? What's a detail? What else happened in the story?
They got rained on.
They got rained on. But when it rained in this story, what did they think they were doing? They were taking a bath. What? I love it. You did a great job. Why do you think they felt like they needed to take a bath, Blakely?
Because they're in a dirty swamp.
Because they just got out of the dirty swamp, so they were like, yay, it's raining, so I can take a bath. What's another detail? Liddy, do you know another detail? Who else can tell me? Tell me some more things that happened that caused them all kinds of problems, Devin. What happened? They walked into the swamp. And what happened when they walked into the swamp, Sadie? The compass sunk. Who knows what a compass is? What is a compass?
It tells you the way back.
Tells you where to go. It has north, south, east, and west on it. That tells our directions. And so, when we have a compass and we're going north on our trail, we just keep following north, right? But when they went into the swamp, the compass sank. So they didn't know where they were going. What else? What's another detail?
They were walking, but it wasn't really, you didn't really say it, but the trees were in the way of the trail.
They were. It was all that underbrush. Tatum, do you know another detail of the story? What else happened in the story that didn't go very good? Oh, you gotta remember because that's our comprehension. We gotta remember. What is it, Jace?
They walked down the dale.
They walked down a dale, so they went up a hill and walked down into the dale. And dale is a good vocabulary word because that's not something we use. We usually say we walked up the hill and down the hill. But a dale, so here's our hill. I'll be an artist. The dale is down here in this valley. Okay? So this is a dale. Now that we have, Carson, now that we have dissected this story, and we know who the characters are, and where it took place, and what happened, and what the problem was, and how we fixed it, if we took a little quiz on it, you think we would do a whole lot better now? Yes, because we know so much more, and we wrote our thoughts down. We drew pictures, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in 2 more days, when we get back, I'm going to read a new story. Okay? A new story. Nope. New story. And y'all are going to have to listen when I read the new story and figure out who the character is. Where is the story taking place? What is going on in the story? What is going wrong in the story and how we're going to fix it. Thumbs up? Okay. Y'all did great.